the game. We play through the rain, but there is definitely a strength in knowing how to utilize it to your favor. As you look to the competition schedule as we get set for this men's matchup, it's a best of 3 sets to 15. You gotta win by 2 like tradition states, and just 1 timeout. You take those win-losses, and that's what gets you to qualify into the championship. Let's meet our 4 competitors with Mark Sherman.
Yes, perfect timing. The rain starts to fall, and we start to get back up, everybody. Let's go. Final match of the week in Miami, Palm Beach. First up, the players for the visiting Miami Mayhem. Wearing the number 1, standing 6 feet 5 inches tall out of Long Beach State, he is Trevor Crabb. Wearing the number 2, the 6'7" blocker out of UC Santa Barbara, it's Theo Brunner. And their opponents, your Palm Beach Passion. Wearing the number 1, standing 6 feet 4 inches tall out of Westmont College, it's Avery. Drost.
I love you, Micah. I love you, Jane.
And his partner, wearing the number 2, standing 6 feet 9 inches tall, out of the University of Central Florida, currently living in... It's Phil Dalhausser.
Theo Brunner and Trevor Crabb, 4-0 over Dalhausser and Drost. And just as the bell rings, the rain starts to fall. They dealt with this last night. So how does this change the game, Rich?
I'm rubbing my chest, Cam, and I think there's a 30% chance it's already raining. Yeah, you know, they've got some experience with it. Both of these teams do. It makes you maybe go to the bump set a little bit more, right? We saw Phil actually miraculously get called for a hand set as the ball got slick out there. Not something you see every day. So we'll just have to kind of keep our eye on it.
Yeah, that was the first double you've seen in his entire career. I don't think he even knew what that call was called as he pulls off the net.
Avery almost going head first into the net standard. Good effort, but comes up just a bit short.
Phil Dalhausser, a 4-time Olympian. You think there's no question he's the GOAT, and I would tend to agree. Over 100 career wins and a gold medal to his name.
Yeah, we can, you know, set aside a time and place to meet to discuss that if you have differing opinions, and we can duke it out.
I wouldn't want to fight you with words or with mitts. Terrifying feat. We'll give you a little insight into Trevor Crabb and Theo Brunner. We're talking about some of the best blockers on the beach between Theo and Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. Phil, the best of all time, maybe starting to get challenged a bit by Anders Boll in the international game of beach volleyball, but the number of years that Phil's put in at the top of the game blocking the ball is just astounding. Theo Brunner, though, one of the best, maybe just right behind Phil as far as what our country has to offer. Just a savant at the net as well.
Let's see Theo Brunner on the left side for the Mayhem. It's this battle between 6'9" and 6'7".
We're talking a lot about the blocking prowess, but that skill right there is something that's going to be vital to whether or not the Palm Beach Passion can be successful in this match today. The serving, particularly of Phil Dalhausser.
Backs up, pulls out the hands, and there's the butter.
Yeah, sneaking that one past. In their first matchup, Theo really had a beat on Avery Drost. You know, I don't know what the total number of blocks was, but he kind of had his number in that match. Looking to repeat that, and Avery kind of looking to turn the tide, so to speak.
I just love, as the rain starts to fall, our fans have actually shifted up below the upper deck, where there's a little bit of coverage. You can see them there at the top of your screen. Everyone trying to stay dry. And that is the most Trevor shot you could imagine.
50 shades of line, we say he's got, right? Yeah, there's a look at our fans taking cover, but staying in it. You still got to go with your popsicle, because even though the rain's coming down, it is warm.
Nice way to cool off. Look at Tr.Crabb, the 34-year-old out of the South Bay now, originally from Honolulu, Hawaii. Part of the brother duo on the AVP between he and Tr.Crabb. First look, though, to Theo Brunner.
I think that set maybe didn't quite get up high enough for Big Phil to traverse the net. Just tries to sneak it past.
Short serve, majority a side out to Avery Drost as he finds a tool.
Yeah, that was a great swing. Just staying aggressive, going high and hard into the block.
I'm going to talk about power. You can hear it.
You mentioned mitts a little bit earlier. That sounds like somebody kind of hitting a heavy bag, doesn't it?
Breeze picking up just in time for that serve and sneaks it by the long arms of Phil Dalhausser. You consider 3 of the 4 athletes on the court currently in terms of their composure and kind of how they emote themselves. Very composed between Phil. Theo doesn't necessarily show a ton of emotion. Trevor at times as he picks up a dig there. He'll stay quiet until provoked as he finds a block. Theo Brunner picks up the cut. No problem for the big fella.
Trevor looking in almost disbelief at what he accomplished with the left hand there to finish it off. Yeah, Trevor no stranger to being at the net. He and former partner Tri-Born did a lot of times split blocking. Of course, when he played with his younger brother Taylor when they first came on tour, he did all the blocking.
This is a duo that has 2 AVP titles to their name combined. Trevor and Theo. That's Chicago in 2023 and Manhattan Beach as of this year. I'm impressed with that pup. He's been here all day through the heat and now through the rain.
Well, he is a service dog, so doing his due diligence.
And that's the challenge that Phil Dalhausser's block will present.
Yeah, it just forces you to try and find a little extra angle. And a little too much that time was Trevor.
They still trail by 2. Reaching high is Phil Dalhausser. So how does the game change when you have a block that tall?
Yeah, I mean, it changes pretty big because you have to start coming up with different options than you're accustomed to. You know, we saw Trev just miss the angle on the swing before, trying to go right back to it, but Phil able to redirect. And now the Palm Beach Passion in striking distance here.
Strong serve down the line. And striking at the net. Tie ball game.
Yeah, that set got a little close right into kind of Phil's wheelhouse at the net. Ordinarily, I would think that's a little bit of a service mistake to score 2 on Trevor and then go with Theo, but I guess when you have Phil at the net, that cures a lot of ills.
1 to the side change. This time he goes back to Trevor. And nobody home. The Mayhem pick up the 8th point and the side change. Right now, they've got to find a little something more against the Palm Beach Passion. Well, I can tell you one thing. I feel like I'm on the dream team when I'm with the AVP because I've got partners like Rich Lamborn and Casey Patterson. What's going on, Casey?
Yeah, I'm down here courtside in the rain with Ken. First event ever watching beach volleyball. He's hardcore down here in the rain. So far, what's been your favorite match or even player to watch?
I'd have to say the Taylors together. That was an awesome last match they had. It's been an amazing experience. I saw Casey Pat here on the airplane, so it's very intimate setting. I've been to a bunch of local, events and stuff like that, but this is by far the best experience I've had.
Yeah. I love it because his girlfriend is like hardcore fan of AVP, and this is the second time we've hung out without her. So.
Poor woman, she's been left out. What happened?
I know. She's waiting to skyball. That's the problem. She's over there waiting to skyball with Mark.
Hey, it sounds like she's ready for competition. I think she's got the right spot. Thanks, Casey.
It was nice of Ken to take time away from the witness protection program to join us here at the Delray Tennis Center.
Feel safe next to that guy. But what an incredible experience, a chance to see some of the best to ever play the game, especially considering Phil Dalhausser as he sets up a dime.
Yeah, you do get quite an intimate setting at our league events. Rub shoulders with the athletes, be right on top of the action on court.
And as amazing as Florida has been, you think back to Austin as well, the energy in Texas, and just before that in San Diego. Those Saturday night crowds are just impressive.
Very much so. Match brewing here for our last one of the weekend, Cam.
Drost checks down. It's a tough skill to have, but you have to as a side-out player.
Yeah, taking that ball from over your shoulder and guiding it down the line like that, not an easy task, but making it look easy that time was Avery Drost.
Theo Brunner. Is that good?
No, it's not. Little late whistle. Johnny King up top does call the lift. That kind of happens so quickly. Reaction time takes a minute even from our referees.
That's a bummer because that was a tough serve from Phil Dalhausser.
Yeah, it really was. Theo doing a nice job getting it on the thumbs, keeping it under control, and then the nice short shot.
And that's about as hard as he will ever swing. Not because he doesn't have more in him, but he just chooses not to. Theo Brunner, fantastic at the net. But even more so, the control and power as an attacker.
Avery.
Yeah, caught leaning a little bit, Tr.Crabb on defense there. Was in a good spot, but kind of falling away to his right. Have a look. Good swing from Avery Drost. But yeah, backwards and leaning, not typically kind of the weight distribution you want defensively.
Passion looking for the tie. In tempo. An ungettable cut shot.
That is crisp. Tr.Crabb, we know about his exploits on the line typically, but he's got this to go along with it. And that's way inside of Phil. Plenty good inside the sideline as well.
Tr.Crabb has done a nice job minimizing his hitting errors since his first weekend of play.
Good shot from Drost as well this time to back it up. Needed to be crisp, and it was.
And if you're Trevor, you just understand both he and Avery right now seeing almost every single serve. Battle of the side out here. Theo steals the middle. Nice pickup. And Phil just gets stuck.
Yeah, I love the poise from Trevor Crabb. You know, that's one of the hallmarks of his game. Even the nice rundown here from Avery and Phil taking an interesting cut at it. I mean, that was fantastic, kind of the 180 spinner. And Trevor just holding his ground in the middle of the court, getting a good dig, good set, and then that great put away up the gut.
Set point for the Miami Mayhem. And when you think about the Miami Mayhem, this duo of Theo Brunner and Trevor Crabb, they were just on the outskirts of qualifying for the Paris Olympic Games. And it was a question whether they were going to stay together heading into the Heritage Series events, the events that you qualify into the league. They stayed together, picked up that Manhattan Beach title, and lo and behold, qualified in, and they have been a force to be reckoned with. We want to take a moment to talk about the hurricanes here in Florida over the last 2 weeks. Families affected by hurricanes Milton and Helene urgently need your support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to people when they need it the most. Donate today to Hurricanes Milton and Helene by going to redcross.org/CBS or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS-NOW. And again, the portion of proceeds from this event will be donated by the AVP to hurricane relief, as it will be ongoing for the months to come. Set point for the Mayhem. And fights through the block. One set point, fend it off.
Yeah, I like how aggressive Avery stayed. Even when he's shooting the ball, it's a good aggressive approach, and he's kind of crisp with those shots. There's nothing really loopy or tentative, and that's the way you've got to be against a blocker as big as Theo. You understand that maybe he's going to get you once or twice, but you can't relent.
Fights it from the sideline. Rain coming down, and their streak continues. For the Miami Mayhem, they have won every first set in league play in their competition. That is their 6th straight time getting it done. With a perfect pass and high line, Trevor Crabb finds number 1.
Dave Pong, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Let me see it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Where are you going? Okay, go back over here. We'll go back over here. Come on. We got some time left. We've got 4 people who got that ball in. No. I need the 4 people. Only the 4 people in the finals who got that one in. You're in the finals. You're in the finals. You got it in, right? Who else got it in? We only got 4. Only 4 in the finals. No, you're out. You didn't go yet? Oh, well, come on. What are you waiting for? Let's go. Yes, sir. All right, so we got 5 people in the finals. All right, you first. Final round. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, baby. Okay. Next. No, boy. Bye-bye. Boy, that thing floating. That was incredible, Heather. I'll take that. Thank you.
Oh, my.
Oh, I don't know. I still think the first guy's in the lead. Come on, Dave.
The Miami Mayhem picking up set number 1. Theo Brunner and Trevor Crabb strike first. Let's go to Casey Patterson, our courtside reporter.
Hi guys, down here with Melissa and Brandy. We were just pogoing. We're trying to get Phil and Avery a little fire, you know, get them fired up. Avery was asking me to pop and lock. The girls were dancing. It was incredible. Girls, what do we got to do right now to get a little momentum for this next set?
We're getting some good touches. They haven't really hit a clean ball yet that I've seen. Avery's getting good touches, Phil's getting good touches, so we just got to stay steady.
I love it. Affecting the game. Even if we don't win, we're like right there, right? Yeah, as a blocker, we already know Phil's dominant. So any advice for Phil?
Any advice for me? I mean, I love a 2-ball from Phil and transition and side out, so more of that. Let's do it.
Last thing, how many autographs have you signed so far and selfies? I feel like it's in the thousands.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely in the thousands.
It's not enough. It's not enough. We want more. Bring it on.
I love it.
Well, they are the home team. It's no surprise. I mean, I would want a photo with those two. Why not?
Oh,
Absolutely.
And look, he's already calling play-by-play. Get in the mix, Casey Patterson. Great to hear from Melissa Humana-Paredes and Brandy Wilkerson, members of the Palm Beach Passion.
Yeah, that was kind of a question I had coming into this second set. We didn't see a lot of stuff blocks from Theo Brunner, but we did see a back flippy right there. But he kind of bides his time every now and then and just kind of dials you in. And once he does, it's big time trouble. Let's see if that is a harbinger of things to come at the net.
He pulls here and finds a dig. Avery Drost takes a second seat and finds another. Longest rally. Good recovery.
One rally.
Yeah, I like the tempo there for Theo Brunner on the 4th opportunity for the Mayhem to try and put that away. Just kind of beating Phil to the punch at the net. Some great defensive moves from Avery to extend the rally.
Making this the Wilson Volleyball Play of the Day. Palm Beach Passion are just, you know, sunbathing a few times in this rally.
Yeah, indeed. There's the tempo. Yeah, just forcing Phil to kind of slide laterally. And Trevor whacking at angle.
Talk about the Wilson Volleyball Play of the Day. Some premier blockers in the mix between Theo Brunner and, of course, Phil Dalhausser. Yesterday, Theo Brunner picked up another 4 blocks as he is the category leader through league play with over 2 a set. Now past the midway point, what's coming up next? A chance to see 4 teams in action. The Brooklyn Blaze, Dallas Dream, Miami Mayhem, and LA Launch will be facing off in Oceanside, California for Week 6. This is our final match in Week 5 as the efficiencies are on screen. I mean, we've seen elevated efficiencies through league play, but that's wild.
That is pretty wild, yeah, especially with some of the defense I feel like we've been seeing as well. What I think that indicates is that even though it wasn't necessarily the case early in this match, a lot fewer errors as this match has gone on.
Reduce the hitting errors. Always helpful when you consider the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's hard to maintain a good hitting efficiency, too, if the errors are too extensive. That's been a good shot for Avery Drost, that crisp cut shot.
Whose responsibility is that? Is it something you just have to give away?
No, yeah, because you could see that Trevor was kind of running to the line. That was the defense they had set up, and they've been successful early on in this second set. Trevor's already run down a few line shots, so just a good shot from Avery.
Right on the midline. And you see different tactics for blockers, whether you're going up trying to shot block or delay, you can pull off the net, so many different skills. What's this one?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's tremendous vision and execution from Tr.Crabb. I think, you know, it's interesting, we don't tend to think of him as a big jumper out there, which is a little bit unfair because his ability to go flat with that over Phil is kind of indicative of his ability. I don't know what that was. How about the little cat paw to the corner from Theo Brunner, however, after the double cat scratch in the backcourt from Trevor. What do we call this? Swatty.
Takes out the paws there. Left a little fur on that one.
Nonetheless, perfectly placed for the Mayhem.
Oh man, that was a tough one into the corner. Avery Drost might have gotten a mouthful of sand on that one. Dalhausser off his knees, and the double is called on his partner.
Yeah, Avery, sometimes you end up being a little bit of a victim of your own success. Usually the hand's so pure that you can see the little side wiggle as it comes out of the hands. Yeah, you see that kind of left hand stay on it a little bit too long and gets helicoptery.
I feel like Theo Brunner has pulled off the net more often than we're accustomed to him doing so.
Yeah, that was a good time for it. That set was a little bit deep. Really good swing from Avery, and that's a skill we've seen Theo continue to improve on as well, that pole digging. It's a big part of their defensive setup as a team for the Mayhem.
The float serve taking the pace away. Turn. And utilizing the net, trying to find the extra contact.
Yeah, Trev kind of banging on his head, not pleased with that contact, I don't think, but I like the idea. Is kind of caught him high in the middle of his chest, and he just slapped at it into the net on purpose, I believe. It just didn't hold up as well as he hoped.
Talked about minimizing errors. Just 2 hitting errors combined for Crabb and Brunner, 3 for Dalhausser and Drost through the entirety of this match. Calm in transition, even after getting blocked.
Yeah, and that's just, again, tremendous vision from Tr.Crabb. You could see Phil give the thumb indicator to his left side in transition, indicating that he was going to take away the line. And Trevor just saw it, slapped it straight to the sand in the cross court.
The target is consistent. And a little too much sauce on that swing. If you got to make a move, it's right now.
A little bit of a soft start offensively from the Passion in this second set. Got them in a hole, but they've really recovered nicely, and it's just kind of back and forth. See if they can make something happen from the service line and or at the net.
Miami 1 away from the switch. Theo Brunner. He doesn't even have to hit hard. He still finds kill after kill after kill.
Yeah, he is deceptively physical as well. It doesn't look like he's jumping high, but he's contacting the ball at such a high point.
His 5th kill of the matchup, well over 300. Theo Brunner keeps the Mayhem on top.
Freshly signed by Mel and Brandy. Oh man, I know. I was given one more. Listen, there has been, I know, you're all working for it. There has been one young lady who I saw at the very beginning of the day, who has been giving it her all day long. Yes,
to you by Wilson, the official ball of the AVP. Tr.Crabb leading the charge, 11 kills on 14 attempts, but let's check in with our courtside reporter, Casey Patterson.
Hi guys, I'm down here with Corey, Ken's girlfriend. So Ken and I are now best friends. We've been on the flight together. We've hung out earlier in the rain. He was guarding your purse. His first time, how do you think he's doing right now? Do you think he's having fun?
He's having a blast. I mean, this event is so personal. We got to meet all the players. Like, this exceeded our expectations. We're just having a really good time. Who cares about the rain? Like, if you're not here, you should be.
Yes. Wow, you're very well versed. Did you used to do this a while ago?
Yes. A long time ago, I was a reporter at an ABC affiliate in Panama City Beach.
Okay. Awesome. That's so rad. So I can take some notes from you. Perfect.
You're doing great.
I need help, so perfect.
Casey Patterson. Casey Patterson working in his next career. Obviously one of our Olympians on the AVP, retired just a few seasons ago. We're so grateful to have him and his insight. And this is your insight, Rich Lamborn.
Yeah, I mean, a good start again out of the timeout, out of the switchover, I should say, from the Mayhem. They got another one on the board, but serving Phil, not usually a good recipe for continuing point scoring runs.
Hiding behind the block of Phil Dalhausser. How do they climb back in this? They've got one back here.
Yeah, that helps. Certainly a little hitting mistake into the bottom of the net from Theo Brunner. You could see Avery Drost in pursuit had it come over the net. He has some tough serving. See if Phil can't put some pressure on the Mayhem here from the end line.
And it's a good serve. Earns the free ball. Snaps it down. We always said there was a flip or a switch that could be flipped with Phil Dalhausser. Phil does Phil things when he needs to.
Yeah, we know about Sunday Phil. Sunday Phil going right over the top of T-Rev at the net.
62 career AVP titles for Phil Dalhausser. Now in a different place in his career. Now he's just playing for fun and the freedom of it.
Yeah, loving the format though. You know, when you get into your 40s, playing 2 matches a weekend feels real nice on the body, relatively speaking.
Phil Dalhausser, 44 years young. And he still comes up with sets like that.
That's a couple already here in the second set, kind of fall away jumpers that are just things of beauty. I mean, the difficulty level when your body weight is going backwards to try and push a set cleanly. Yeah, Avery just getting the touch off of Trevor's fingertips on the way by.
That's a great shot at kind of how the block and defense work alongside one another, each with their own responsibility. There's just not enough people on the court to cover every inch.
Yeah, I mean, you do technically want to see that good crisscrossing and good timing and so forth, but those swings up the middle, that's why they can be so effective, because you kind of hit that open zone.
Going the opposite direction.
A really nice physical swing to the deep corner, Theo Brunner. Missed one earlier trying to be a little cute with the cut shot, just abandoning that and going with the heater deep, which I think is a good choice. Great execution.
Miami Mayhem, 4 away from a match win. A wrist away snap.
Yeah, it just, I mean, it looks automatic out there. Philly's still at 44 years of age. Just muscle memory takes over, elevation, termination.
Man, it's got to just be so frustrating. He plays at such a high level still. There's no way to stop him. A little bit of a shouldered serve, or excuse me, shouldered pass from Crabb.
Avery with the finish.
And that's good for 3.
Yeah, that's right. The football Sunday right through the uprights is worth 3.
They need 3.
They do, yeah. They're right there. The Mayhem have certainly kind of let off the accelerator a little bit, / the Passion have found a little bit of defensive rhythm.
Turning this into a 1-point game. Behind the run of Phil Dalhausser. And it's the option. Relieve the pressure on Theo Brunner.
Yeah, I like that. Pass gets a little bit close. Trevor really aggressively going after that second contact, especially as Phil's got to try and scurry up to the net from the end line.
Both these teams will have 3 matches remaining in league play. Maybe 2 matches remaining. Just on 1 errors.
Yeah, that's an unusual error too, just kind of the follow through into the net. You don't see that a tremendous amount. Just kind of lost balance there a little bit. You got to be very careful too as an attacker kind of come underneath the net. You don't want to land underneath the blocker. Oh.
And that just about seals it. It is now match point. Several opportunities for the Miami Mayhem as the drizzle starts to rain down in the form of aces.
Yeah, just as the Passion had kind of pushed their way all the way back, Miami had come up with a couple good plays, that trickle serve, a little bit of good fortune. And now they have a handful of match points here.
Tr.Crabb at the service line, looking for the 2-0 victory. Watch for the angle. Trying to pick up the cut.
You called it, Cam.
You knew it was coming.
The angle was coming. Yeah, I was just astounded by how good that set was from Phil. Rain coming down, no matter, just perfection out of the hands of the big fella. Still 3 shots at it here for the Mayhem.
Passion need a little sunshine now. To the right side, dug once, and the on-1 from the overpass. Theo Brunner just chuckles as the Mayhem pick up the match win on the men's side.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, Trevor was on the ground as he bump set that ball, so he got to his feet rather quickly. Have a look here. Right to his feet, gets the put away for the winner.
Love the celebration, pointing to the sand, and it is now a torrential downpour. The perfect timing to close out week 5 on the AVP League. The Miami Mayhem, their score has now increased at 7-5. The Palm Beach Passion sit at 4-8 as we will look ahead to week 6. An incredible weekend here. We made it even through the rain, Rich.
We certainly did, and a couple critical wins for the Miami Mayhem, as you mentioned, getting them into that 4th spot. Very crucial as they wrap up week 5 of competition here in the league.
So wrapping up week 5 means week 6 is just a few days away. Phil Dalhausser still signing autographs. You got to get one from that guy. And here's a look ahead. The Brooklyn Blaze, Dallas Dream, Miami Mayhem, and the LA Launch will all be in action. La Launch, as we like to call them. A look to our 8 teams that are in action. Well, let's head down to Mark Sherman, who's not very dry at this point. Take it away, Mark.
Down here with the winners, Trevor and Theo. All right, it's raining harder than it has all weekend. How's the sand like in that match? Because it's been pretty jumpy, right?
It has, but you know, when the rain comes, it makes little divots here and there, so you kind of got to adjust. But we made do, and yeah, thanks for everyone that stuck around in the weather too. I mean, awesome. Thank you.
And yeah, just north of your hometown matchup in Miami, up here to Palm Beach, you guys felt a little love in the crowd for this one as well. Theo, I know that match took you a minute to get going, but I thought you settled in pretty well. How do you feel about your play?
I was really bad. I don't know.
I led you into that one, yeah.
I don't know exactly. I think I was like 2 for 15, something like that. Maybe a negative percentage, but you don't always win pretty. We figured it out. We got it done. And thanks again, everyone, for sticking around. Yep. It's crazy out here.
You were teamed up at the beginning of this year with the gold medalist, with Alex and April. They got the win today as well. Is that a fun partnership? Have you practiced together at all? Have you trained together?
We did on Friday. It was our first co-ed practice together, and yeah, we're stoked to have them on our team. Everyone knows how good they are and what they've done, and yeah, they're capable of beating anybody. So we're just trying to hold our own and see what happens in the end.
And when do we see you guys again? What's your next week? Do you remember? Oceanside, Anaheim, or Oceanside? Oceanside, which is next week. So you've got your final weekend, and then you're in position for the championships maybe, and you got to wait and see what else happens. So going into it, you got the first shot to really lock in a spot in the championships. What is this next week going to look like for you?
I mean, pressure's on. It's the last chance. I feel like if we're above 500 next weekend, we'll probably be in, I would assume. But anything can happen. This is the first time for everybody, so we'll see what happens.
The inaugural AVP League, everybody, in the Miami Mayhem going 2-0 today. Give it up for Trevor, Crabb, and Theo Brunner.
The Miami Mayhem picking up 2 match wins for Rich Lamborn, Casey Patterson, Mark Sherman. I'm Cameron Irwin, and the rest of our entire crew. Thanks so much for joining us. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.